Hello everyone and welcome to Doctor Who Month. What is Doctor Who Month, you may ask? Well, in case you haven't noticed, we're in the month of November now. Fucking hell, is it really November? This year has gone way too bloody fast. The month of November being the birth month of the titular show Doctor Who. And I figured since this channel you're watching right now originated as a Doctor Who channel, I thought I might do a bit of service to the history of this channel and for the Doctor Who show itself that I have been loving for so many years, to dedicate an entire month of my channel to just posting Doctor Who videos. So you are going to be getting weekly Doctor Who videos until the month of November is through. And how we're going to kick off this event of the channel, this Doctor Who month. We are going to be following through on a promise of a request of a video. I would like to draw your attention to this very bookshelf. That's right, we are doing a Doctor Who book collection video. Bet you thought this day would never come, but I'm finally updating my Doctor Who book collection. So let's get into it. So let's waste no more time and get straight into the bookshelf. As you can see, I have indeed cleaned it up for this very video. You're welcome. But let's just begin at the top with the various Doctor Who books that you see on this first shelf. We top it off with John, my mate John Lumick, sat at the top guarding my collection of books and guarding a very, very valuable book, which we can start this collection with. The Frederick Muller original of, Doctor Who, An Exciting Adventure with the Daleks. It's a very, very rare book. I don't know how much it goes for nowadays, but when I bought it, it was extremely rare. There was only a few copies of that. Other stuff on this shelf includes the Doctor Who Key to Time Peter Handling book. I can't be asked to get it out and show you, but this does indeed have a Sylvester McCoy signature in there. You'll just have to take my word for it. We have a Target hardback of the Auton Invasion there. And we have a BBC Books reprint of Doctor Who and the Crusaders, one of my favourite Doctor Who stories. We have a scripts book of Power of the Daleks, another one of my favourites. We have Engines of War hardback in the corner over there. And and now we move on to the Virgin New Adventures book, my favourite book series of Doctor Who. A collection which is steadily growing. Wish I had more, but you know. Nightshade, starting off extremely strong. One of my favourite Doctor Who stories of all time, Nightshade. And we have a Transit, a decent follow-up, which I can't seem to slip back in without bending the pages, so we'll just do that. And then we have The Pit, the first three of them. The rest of the Virgin Adventures are on this shelf, which we'll get into right now, guarded very nicely by this Dalek from the 60s. So let's go through. Next we have White Darkness, Love and War, Lucifer Rising, Birthright, Iceberg. That's a really good one actually. Also written by David Banks. Seems to write good Cyberman stories if I can recall correctly. Blood Harvest. Very, very intrigued by that one when I originally bought it, as it was like a gothic horror type of book. Blood Heat. A fun little Silurian story about an alternate universe with dinosaurs and Nazis. Yes, you heard me correct. Theatre of War, No Future, and then Bad Therapy. I wish I had more Virgin New Adventures than that, but unfortunately that's all I own at the moment. Obviously, I would love to have Lung Barrow, Dying Days, but can't win them all. Hopefully one day I'll own at least Lung Barrow, but a man can dream. Until then, we will just go through and look at the Virgin Past Doctor adventures, starting with Goth Opera, State of Change, Time of Your Life, System Shock, The Menagerie, Dancing the Code, and then The Empire of Glass. I really enjoy this book. I think I even got this signed by Peter Purvis. Yeah, I did as well. Wow, well remembered, Zach. Fun stuff. This book series is fun, not anywhere near as good as the Virgin Adventures for me, just because I am absolute 7th Doctor, absolute sucker. But yeah, Goth Opera was fun, if I can recall me reading it originally. But yeah, now we move on to the Gargantuan Target book collection, which we will indeed begin to tackle. We'll move this reconnaissance Dalek up here. Right. So let's begin with not a Target book, but it is indeed another edition of Doctor Who: An Exciting Adventure with the Daleks. This is a paperback, if you can obviously tell, which you do if you have eyes. Then we have Doctor Who and the Daleks, Target, Marco Polo, Keys of Marinus, the Aztecs. We have Doctor Who and the Crusaders, yet another different edition of it. Fun read, obviously I'm a big fan of the Crusaders. Doctor Who and the Zarbi, which is also known as the Web Planet, the Gunfighters, the 10th Planet. Then we have Power of the Daleks, a very, very special book that I'm glad I own. We have Doctor Who and the Cybermen. Then we have Evil of the Daleks, another one that I'm very, very pleased to own. It was very, very tough to get my hands on these two, but I got them in the same job lot, I believe. I think I got it on video of me originally unboxing them, but I may be wrong. I can't be asked to go dig that video up, so you'll just have to take my word for it. Doctor Who and the Ice Warriors. We have Enemy of the World. We have a Day of the Daleks that's getting in the way. We have the Crotons, and then the War Games. A surprisingly small book for such a giant Doctor Who story. We have the Auton Invasion, Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters, Inferno, bloody amazing story. Doctor Who and the Doomsday Weapon, that is Colony in Space, I believe. We have Doctor Who and the Daemons, a very, very fun read. Then we have Day of the Daleks, and then the reprint up there. Doctor Who and the Mutants, which I do not want to bend the pages of, so bear with me. Doctor Who and the Time Warrior, Death to the Daleks, the Monster of Peladon, and then we skip Planet the Spiders on the spiders. I'm eating my own hair and my own tongue. Yeah, we completely skip that one. Unfortunately, I do want it as a Target, but I haven't managed to grab it. So I guess we move on to the 4th Doctor with Doctor Who and the Giant Robot, the Sontaran Experiment, missing the Ark in Space, unfortunately, Genesis of the Daleks, Revenge of the Cybermen, and then the Loch Ness Monster, which is really just, you know, the terror of the Zygons. And now moving on to the next shelf. I'm going to sit down for this segment because my arms and legs are tired. But we're going to move this Dalek over here till we're done with the Targets. We have this interesting book here. But we continue with the 4th Doctor Targets with The Brain of Morbius, Seeds of Doom, The Mask of Mandragora, The Hand of Fear, Deadly Assassin, Robots of Death, The Talons of Wang Chiang, Horror Fangrock. This one was my mum's original copy that she bought when she was young. She got it signed by Tom Baker. We have Invisible Enemy, Image of the Fendel, Stones of Blood, Android Zatara, Paracroll, Armageddon Factor, Creature from the Pit. We have the Leisure Hive and Meglos. And then we have Keeper of Traken. And then we have Earthshock. We've very much skipped a lot of stories there, but there you go. Time Flight, the Mordrin Undead. We have the 5 Doctors with a very, very fun, shiny cover. Warriors of the Deep, an absolute poo story. Frontios, Vengeance on Varos. Let's move this Necros Dalek over here, and let's move these modern day Target books out of the way because they are for later. Timelash, another piece of crap story which I can't seem to get back in its shelf, and I don't know why I'm worrying about bending the pages because it's so bad. Delta and the Bannerman, it's a very, very fun story, and I will not hit any Delta and the Bannerman slander. It's a great one. I will always go up for that story. Then we have Remembrance. You have Silver Nemesis, and then finally Survival. That is the Target books finish, golly goss. Actually, no, it's not. We have these two that I took off the shelf with the Robert Sherman Dalek novelisation and the Rose novelisation, as well as the row below that where we have the novelisation of The Giggle and this library of time book featuring a few different snippets from different Target books, which you can look at on the back there. Now we move on to the BBC books with, first of all, the Past Doctor Adventures and the 8th Doctor Adventures. So I guess let's just get into that. So we start with the murder game, the ultimate treasure, and the Hollow Men. Now we move on to the next shelf down here, guarded by, would you look at that, a Genesis Dalek. How polite of him to guard my books like that. Let us continue. We have Storm Harvest poking out here at the end. The Indestructible Man, quite a rare book if I remember rightly when I originally picked it up. Not sure what its value is now, but it's a fun story. Seeing Eye, The Blue Angel, Asylum, Palace of the Red Sun, City at World's End, The Infinity Doctors, a very, very fun cerebral story that actually, I read that recently. Eater of Wasps, City of the Dead, The Sleep of Reason, and The Gallifrey Chronicles. I remember getting this one at the Doctor Who experience in 2017, actually. You guys probably already know that because I probably made a video about it, about me picking that one up at the time, among other things. Anyway, speaking of BBC books, we now move on to the modern day BBC book adventures, which I do have a lot of to get through, so let's quickly rapid fire through these. The Clockwise Man, The Monster Inside, Deviant Strain, we have Winner Takes All, Only Human, and Stealers of Dreams. We continue this line of books on this shelf down here, guarded by, oh golly gosh, we have 3 Daleks. And then sat on top we have a few books. We have a Doctor Who Target crossword book and a Dalek fact file book. Continuing with the BBC books, we have Nightmare of Black Island, Feast of the Drowned, Resurrection Casket, Stone Rose, Art of Destruction, Wooden Hearts, Last Dodo, get back in there, Price of Paradise, Wishing Well, Sting of the Zygons, Sick Building, Wet World, The Pirate Loop, Forever Autumn, Peacemaker, Many Hands, what a weird wacky cover that is, Martha in the Mirror, The Story of Martha, ooh. Beautiful Chaos, Shining Darkness. Next shelf, we continue this book line. Let's do it. Oh, this one's tough to get out. We have The Eyeless, and then we have Prisoner of the Daleks. Cool. Now we move on to the 11th and 12th Doctor BBC books. Apollo 23, Night of the Humans, Nuclear Time, Paradise Lost, Paradox Lost. I thought I said Paradise Lost there, that's a metal band. Touched by an Angel, Borrowed Time. Then we have The Blood Cell, Deep Time, Royal Blood, The Crawling Terror, Silhouette, and Bang Bang Generation. Cool. And then just below that we have the Program Guide, another Target book here that snuck in. I keep finding these lying about, don't I? Now I move on to what's left over, essentially. So we have Festival of Death, Players, Earth World, and then we have this Torchwood book called Firstborn, and then Doctor Who's Who. And then below this shelf we had a few leftovers, such as Whoology, Who on Earth is Tom Baker, Doctionary. Okay, that is a very, very cringe book title that I've never noticed before. Wisdom and Timey-Wimey Stuff, Missy Chronicles, Claws of the Macra. We have a quiz book up there, and then we have those Doctor Who Mr. Men books poking out the side there, and we have those quick reads here with I'm a Dalek Made of Steel, Magic of the Angels, and Revenge of the Jadoon, along with a Decide Your Destiny book as well. Cool, right. And just like that, that will conclude my Doctor Who book collection of 2024. I very much hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you appreciated me revisiting this video idea all these years later. I very much enjoyed it, actually. It was a nice trip down memory lane as to how I used to make these videos. But yeah, that will about conclude this Doctor Who book collection video. Let me know what books you're most jealous about, I guess. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.